On Dublin's Abbey Street, you'll find the Irish headquarters of Scientology, the most talked about cult in the world.
Suppressive people, that kind of thing. I mean, you don't allow criticism.
Oh no, a suppressive person isn't critical. A suppressive person is a person who denies the right of others.
Meet its creator, speculative fiction writer L. Ron Hubbard. In the 50s, he published a self-help book, Dianetics, and it became the Bible of his new religion. Through a type of counselling they called auditing, practitioners aim to consciously re-experience painful or traumatic events in their past in order to free themselves of their limiting effects. Its followers credit the religion with changing their lives.
Even if it's as small as one person.
It really jumped my grades from being, B plus, A minus to solid A's.
And they are not the only ones.
Being a Scientologist, when you drive past an accident, it's not like anyone else. As you drive past, you know you have to do something about it because you know you're the only one that can really help.
Along with Kirstie Alley, John Travolta and Juliette Lewis, Scientology has a huge celebrity following. The religion offers its members a wide range of life improvement courses that charge anything from €50 to thousands of euro. But the religion's methods of self-analysis have been criticised, and the organisation has drawn accusations of cultism. It was time to investigate if these accusations were fair.
Where's the cult? Where's the cult? Where's the cult? Where's the cult?
On Dublin's Abbey Street every month, a group calling themselves Anonymous gather outside the Scientology headquarters to protest. The group is made up of ex-members, those with family members involved, and those who simply believe that this group is a fake. One of its most prolific protesters is Matthew McKenna. Matthew, you weren't even a member of the Church of Scientology. Why the interest?
I think when you look at the impact that different groups can actually have on people, in terms of sort of ruin people financially, mentally, and by breaking their social circle, Scientology goes far beyond any other group that I'm aware of.
So just who is behind the masks? Behind one is Gabby Wynne, who until last year not only followed but worked for the church. She was just 19 when she became a member of the organisation. Through a personality test, workers in the Church of Scientology building in Dublin discovered that Gabby's father had been a heavy drinker, and they advised her to take part in some Scientology courses, which they said would help her deal with the stress of this.
They say they have the answer to everything. Like, no matter what your problem is, they have an answer to it, kind of. Like, one of the first questions was, how much do you earn? And they kind of started pressuring me into taking out loans then. Like, it started off with €2,000 and then they wanted me to top up a loan and then up to €5,000. I was getting calls on my phone all day saying, so when are you going to the bank? When are you going to the bank?
This focus on spending money on courses is echoed by fellow ex-member Pete Griffiths. He says he lost 20 years of his life to Scientology.
The whole of Scientology is set up it's like a ladder with courses at every level that you have to pay for and do. They do say that you're allowed to walk away after doing one or two courses. You're not. They want you to do the next one and the next one and the next one until you're £500,000 worse off.
Through the company's office, I find documents showing that the Irish branch, which claims to have sold 100,000 Scientology-related goods, filed accounts recently showing a deficit of nearly €700,000. But thankfully, the money in the international organisation is phenomenal, and it can support the Irish branch. Tax filings from the early 1990s in the US show that the church was earning about $300 million a year back then, but the paper trail disappears after that. Celebrities like Tom Cruise, however, are thought to have donated around $25 million, and over 160 countries have branches, so the organisation doesn't appear to have a cash flow problem. It wasn't long before I got a phone call from Matthew McKenna asking me to meet him. He said he had in his possession some private Church of Scientology documents which would prove the organisation's primary focus is to sell courses and Scientology goods. Now, one of the main things that I've noticed in Scientology is this pressure to recruit people all of the time, and we have here a document, and this is called How to Sign Up and Start a New Person Drill. Can you bring me through this?
If they can get you to believe that you have a problem and get you to believe that, then it's easier to sell you a course to fix that problem. And this is what these questions are all about. They're very leading. They're trying to get people to divulge information which then can be used to sort of get that person to feel bad. And when they get a person to feel badly enough, then it becomes very easy to sell them a course on how to fix it. And that's what it's all about.
It does state here the end phenomena, which is obviously the goal or the objective. A staff member who can competently sign up and start a new person on a paid service and sell books. So it's somebody who can spend money. Paying for courses is a huge aspect of Scientology. They appear to involve training of some sort. Part of the communication course caught my eye.
The way this sort of works is you actually sort of are sitting down with usually an ashtray as your prop, and you're sitting down in one chair and the ashtray is sitting down on the other tray. And what you do is you would yell at the ashtray, stand up, and you'd actually lift the ashtray, hold it up in the air, and then say thank you, and you'd carry that again and again and again. And by doing that, you're supposed to be learning how to get your commands carried out. If you've drilled the same action again and again and again and again, and if you are in everyday life and you encounter someone who's, not quite of the same viewpoint as you, you will actually start, these training routines, they will kick in, you'll remember all the training you've done, and you'll just go into that zone. You'll just focus entirely on getting your command carried out.
In another document, the group outlines how members must deal with people who don't support Scientology. They are called suppressive people. It appears to state that those people must be cut out of a Scientologist's life. If it was practised, it would cut families apart. At the protest, Anne Robinson approached me.
We believe we've been declared suppressive persons by that organisation because of the fact that we have spoken publicly about our concerns about the organisation and the damage that it has done to our family and other families.
The reason she is speaking out is that her brother Tony is a member of the church and hasn't spoken to Anne or any of their family in 10 years. In fact, they have no idea where in the world he is. Did Tony change when he became a member of the Church of Scientology?
Yeah, completely. It seemed almost like a lot of his answers to questions we'd ask were rehearsed, things that he would have, we believe, learned in courses on how to handle his family. The expression on his face, the lack of emotion, he was a different person.
What effect, Anne, has the Church of Scientology and Tony's membership of it had on your family?
It's been totally devastating in terms of grief. I said he hasn't died, but we haven't seen him in 10 years. My dad died at the age of 86 in 2002, and he hadn't seen Tony for a number of years before that, and that really broke him.
You're taught that what Ron Hubbard wrote is the only way forward for mankind. He had all the answers to all man's problems. When you look at the evidence, you find out, no, he didn't. Because, there's no evidence to prove that any of that happened. I mean, it's just not there. But when you're involved, you're very insular and you're very isolated. You're not allowed to read books, you're not allowed to watch TV, read newspapers. They have control over you. And it's one of the aspects of a cult that they will try and control your thoughts, your emotions, your behaviour and your information. And Scientology tries to control all of those things.